Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Yesterday, you may remember that I told you that when I was a kid, I was going down a concrete water slide and I kind of slingshotted my head against the concrete and broke one of my front teeth in half. And ever since that time, I've had to get bonding occasionally, and it's kind of, so I need to have my bonding redone soon because it's kind of feeling chipped again. And when I said that, I had two guys in the XRP community that told me that they also chipped their tooth. XRP Trooper was one, and then I think it was I Am Legion that sent me a message and said he had his tooth chipped as well. It's funny, you say things. I say things on this channel that I don't think are any big deal, and it's funny how so many people out there have been there, done that, and kind of identify with different things. It could be a simple thing like mentioning that I'm going to have hot wings on a Friday night or whatever. But that's part of the fun of doing this channel, is that I get to meet so many people and talk to so many people who we're all just a bunch of really animals that are trying our best to just get through this world, and we're all running into the same problems and we all do the same stupid things, and we all have ups and downs, and that's part of what I feel like has been fun about doing my channel is identifying with people on those types of levels. Well, XRP Trooper informed me that he chipped his tooth in a pool when he was a kid, and so he asked me if he could be, and I will now designate him the official stormtrooper who chipped his tooth in a pool as a child of the Digital Asset Investor channel. He now has that title. It was not taken. And just so you know, I just think that there are limitless titles available. Everybody should have a title in the end, right? So if you're sending me a title that you want and I haven't responded, it's not because I'm ignoring you. I just get bombarded by this type of stuff. As dumb and silly as it is, I think it's kind of funny, so I'm just kind of going with it. Okay. Next, this is from Sergeant Obi-Wan. He sent me this, and this is interesting. This Tony Valentino guy has intrigued a lot of people in the XRP community. Some of the things that he says are controversial. Some are very smart, in my opinion, and some you may think he's, like I've said before, you may think he's just full of crap. Well, they intrigued me enough to read them myself, and so I think that I like to show you things like that, things I'm looking at and that interest me. So in this one, he says it wasn't Visa who battled to buy Earthport. The Rothschilds made the deal. It's fact, as most of you know, or Google search if you didn't know. If there's going to be a new monetary system, it can't be done without the blessings and approvals of the Rothschilds gang. And then he's tweeting this Visa Direct. Have you people forgotten about Earthport? Visa didn't buy MasterCard to buy a Ripple partner for no reason. MG plus Visa plus Ripple. But this Rothschilds thing, he said to Google it, so I decided I would Google it. Look at this, that you will all find this interesting. This is the article. We probably covered this way back when. I just don't remember if I covered this angle. Visa to buy British payments firm Earthport for about $250 million. And we covered this deal back in the day. MasterCard and Visa were both trying to get it. Visa ended up getting it. Look at the last line of this article. Rothschild and Company advised Earthport on the deal, while Goldman Sachs advised Visa. I think that is fascinating. I've been in this XRP community for quite a while now, and I've been in digital assets since about 2013, and I've learned what I have learned is, the first thing I've learned is that there are some genius researchers in this community. The second thing I've learned, and I'm not telling you that I've learned this just from looking at Twitter and seeing what people post on Twitter. I'm talking about what I've learned from talking to people behind the scenes as well, folks. I'm not just going along to get along with some of these people. I'm talking about, talking to people behind the scenes and different things that I have pieced together myself. There are no coincidences. That's my opinion on this whole thing. Next, from Tony Valentino, also, the American empire, we bid thee farewell, won't be missed, that's for sure. Well, I'm not going to say that I want the American empire to crumble. I am interested in there being a level playing field. I think that's reasonable. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I do believe that the United States has abused its status as the world's reserve currency, and I believe that that will change in time, and I think that that is a reasonable thing because we're a global economy now, and we're going to be much more so. But he's tweeting this out when he says this. He says, household debt hits a new record high, 14 trillion. Data from the New York Federal Reserve, U.S. citizens are now carrying the highest debt load ever, a nation of debt slaves. Now, I can tell you this from personal experience, folks. The people that I know and live around every day of my life, I can tell you that in today's America, you have 20 and 30-year-olds that are trying to live the way that their parents did after they saved money and worked for 20 and 30 years. They're trying to live in houses that their parents lived in after those 20 or 30 years of hard work and labor. Here in the United States, you have 20 and 30-year-olds that are trying to live the lives and trying to do the things that their parents' generation did not do until they were almost in retirement. And you have a lot of them that also live off of their parents and live off of this and that. There is a rude awakening coming to a lot of the younger generation in the United States. There's no question about that. There are many people that just do nothing but live off of debt, and they expect that they are supposed to live the way they've seen their parents live, and it's just not going to be that way as we go, unless they discover digital assets. Then I think they'll be able to live better than their parents ever did. But anyway, that's a real thing. This is not just a number, that 14 trillion number. I see it every day of my life. I am called conservative in terms of the way I manage my money and the way I see things and the way I live my life. Barry Silbert, I just wanted to mention this because somebody brought it up the other day, and I would give them credit if I remembered, but I don't remember who it was, and so I'm sorry. Remind me who you are, and I will bring you up. I will even grant you with a title if you remind me who you were that sent me this. Barry Silbert, remember, runs the Digital Currency Group, which is invested in more important blockchain companies than any other company. He's one of the most powerful guys in crypto. But notice, this is something I noticed and somebody reminded me of it. He has not tweeted since August the 7th. And this is a guy who was pretty active on Twitter for all of the last year and a half. He has disappeared off of Twitter, and nobody really knows why. So Barry Silbert, if anyone makes you aware of this video, we would love to hear from you. I loved covering your tweets. And by the way, Barry Silbert, his Digital Currency Group, is an investor in Ripple, and he is one of the guys that will never say XRP or Ripple unless he's specifically asked about them. Not often, that is. Okay, and then there's this from Scuba Man XRP, segment about the new book by Ben Mesrich, Bitcoin Billionaires on First Move with Julia Chatterley just now. CNN. Tomorrow, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple XRP, he throws XRP in there. I'll try to record for y'all. So tomorrow, apparently, Brad Garlinghouse is going to be on CNN. I'm sure we will all have all the clips from that and the quotes and everything else. Can you imagine the pressure that Brad Garlinghouse is under every day of his life? I would not want to be in his shoes for anything in the world. I admire the guy, but I don't want that kind of stress in my life, ever. King Solomon at XRP_Al. Luxembourg House of Finance and Technology Innovators Directory 2019 declares Ripple the stewards of XRP, the best digital asset for payments. Ripple is uniquely positioned to transform global payments. Market size $155 trillion. This is the Luxembourg House of Financial Technology, and this is in their, their directory, and they've got Ripple in their directory as problem solved cross-border payments, solution technology, blockchain and interledger protocol. As the stewards of XRP, the best digital asset for payments, or you could say the greatest digital asset ever created, Ripple is uniquely positioned to transform global payments. $155 trillion are sent across borders each year. That can't be a bad endorsement. Okay, and then I saw this and it really hit home from XR Patient. Last time it took 5 years of HODL for XRP to moon. Most of us have only held XRP for only 2 years. Good things to come to those who HODL. Now, I want to show you this because I was HODLing from way back here. I have been through all of this. No, and I've told you before on this channel, I literally put my XRP away somewhere in here and thought that I was wrong about Ripple and XRP and digital assets. I thought, okay, told my wife, I said I was wrong. I was hoping this was going to be the next big thing, and I was wrong. Put it up, and I woke up somewhere in here one day and realized that I had not been wrong. And then I started my channel somewhere in here after the run up and the run, because this was where I realized when this happened. That's when I finally realized I was not just right, I was mega right. And I've realized it not just ever since, but I've realized it more and more ever since. And I believe that what you see after all of this is much, much greater than what happened here. I think this was just a blip on the radar in terms of what's coming after everything I've learned and read and heard behind the scenes over the last year. Corey Johnson at Corey TV used to be Ripple's spokesman, reading Goldman's financial technology conference notes and see Flywire dreaming of having real-time knowledge of the location of remittances. Woohoo! What a pathetic state of the world where knowing your money's location is seen as as bleeding edge or leading edge. I don't know what he was trying to say there. XRP for the win. So here's a guy who doesn't even work for Ripple anymore, and he's still big bull on XRP, and that's what I get out of that. Okay, saw this Anthony Pompliano tweet. I have yet to meet an institutional investor in 2019 who believes there is no value in Bitcoin, blockchain, or cryptocurrencies. Big contrast to 2018. That's because they're almost ready. I love it. Okay, Free American Spirit at F American Spirit. This is great. NASDAQ launches decentralized finance index for digital assets. Major U.S. exchange NASDAQ has unveiled a blockchain decentralized finance DeFi index, DeFix. According to DeFix press release published on September 9th, brokerage firm Exante streamlined the launch of DeFix index. And then down here, I just wanted to make sure you saw. Furthermore, the firm also released the XAI fund, composed of 6 major altcoins, which includes XRP. So NASDAQ seems to be pretty bullish on XRP, or at least seems to believe it's going to be a thing. And next, I saw this from Adam Kilpatrick. Let me make sure I follow him. Okay. Give him a follow because he sent me this. I've told you in the past that William Shatner, the actor from Star Trek, is one of the best marketers in Hollywood. He was one of the best. He was one of the actors in Hollywood who benefited greatest from the .com boom. He was the spokesman for Priceline. And I've said in the past, when you see William Shatner lock onto this, that's when you're going to know it's going to be a thing. And now you're seeing him. He has actually got his own ethereum.com is where you can go. Apparently it looks like he may have created his own token that goes with some Star Trek product on the Ethereum blockchain. So go watch this. This is interesting. It's a video where he talks about it. And finally, I wanted to show you this from Mark Yusko, who is Anthony Pompliano's partner at Morgan Creek. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome fear and do what is necessary to succeed. Investing is not about avoiding risk. It is about seeking out intelligent risks and being compensated for bearing those risks. And then this guy, he's tweeting this guy's tweet: stress can make you smarter, stronger, and more successful. It helps you learn and grow. It can even inspire courage and compassion. The best way to manage stress isn't to reduce or avoid it, but rather to rethink and even embrace it. And I would put in there, for the word stress, I would put in the word failure. I'll read it to you. Failure can make you smarter, stronger, and more successful. It helps you learn and even grow. It can inspire courage and compassion. The best way to manage failure isn't to reduce it or avoid it, but rather to rethink it and even embrace it. Failures are what leads you to success. And one other thing I'll say about this, where he says it isn't about seeking out it is about seeking out intelligent risks. I see Ripple and XRP as the most intelligent risk that I have ever seen in my lifetime. And I would even throw Bitcoin in that. I see those two digital assets as the most intelligent risks that I have ever bumped into in my entire lifetime at the age of 45 of investing. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I do believe that XRP is the greatest intelligent risk that I've ever come across in my life. And for that reason, I hold. Thank you for listening.